What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of the Brandon Janu Show. As you already know, I am Brandon Janu, and like always, shout out to my family at Urban Boulevard, BLVD.US. That is the website. .co. That is their That is their social media platform. If you find any apparel that you love, either on their social media platforms or their website, use the code Brandon.30. That's Brandon.30 for 30% off of your purchase. Shout out to them. Thank you guys. I've been a brand ambassador for a minute, so thank you guys. So let's get into it. Okay, so yeah, usually I have a full house on Tuesdays. Uh, it usually is top 10 Tuesdays, but tonight uh, I'm not doing the top 10 list, but we will be back next Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. And closing in on 300 episodes, on 200, yeah, 200 episodes. 200 episodes of this podcast. It's pretty cool. So we will definitely be back next Tuesday, getting ready for the highly anticipated top 10 tournament, which will be the 200 episode. So I cannot wait to record that with my family. Um, so that'd be not this Tuesday, not next Tuesday, probably not even a Tuesday after next one. Maybe sometime in July, maybe August will be my 200 episode, which will be super, super duper fun. And I can't wait for that. So let's get into it. Tonight episode. What do I want to talk about for tonight, right? Very simple. Um, like I said, I did an episode a long time ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I called it John Cena. Shout out to John Cena, by the way, 20 years. This Monday coming, it'll be 20 years since he became a WWE superstar. So shout out to John Cena. But I did an episode about John Cena, but more importantly, I did an episode talking about why I love pretty much wrestling so much. Is one of the reasons why. And so tonight episode is pretty much going to be centered around wrestling. Uh, Matter of fact, it's going to be about wrestling. Um, so I'm not a wrestling. I have a wrestling podcast, but we haven't done it in a minute. But today I want to do this. So I'm gonna be talking about what's going on in WWE, but also what's going on in AEW. I really don't watch AEW like that, so I'm not going. But the things I want to talk about from AEW is pretty much the AEW Championship, CM Punk winning it but having to relinquish it because he was injured, and of course AGF, uh, MGF. I'll say that wrong. MGF pipe bomb that he just did a couple weeks ago, which I still haven't talked about, but I wanted to talk about it tonight. And of course, I'm gonna talk about WWE, all the shit that's going on with them. Yeah, so let's get into the AEW stuff, and let's get into CM Punk being injured. So, like I said, long time ago, I grew up early 2010s. CM Punk was the guy, man. Um, if you was younger, just looking for something to like rebellious and just very fuck the world type of personality, CM Punk was your guy. CM Punk at one point became one of the biggest stars in WWE, and WWE couldn't do anything but to give him the run, because they tried everything in their power to push John Cena and push all these different people, but people just was not feeling it. CM Punk brought back a time in a lot of people's lives, minds, uh, of the Attitude Era. You know what I'm saying? Kind of stone cold, rebellious, fuck the world type shit. And if you're against me, that's even better, because now I can just tell you fuck you, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. So to watch CM Punk, uh, be that rebellious guy in WWE and become what he became, um, was pretty damn awesome. So, you know, and watching him literally a decade later, um, you know, win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship was pretty dope. Um, but he got injured, and I think he jumped in the crowd. That's how he got injured. He hit his knee on a railing, something, and he fucked up his leg. Um, So yeah, I remember just seeing that, and now him being having to relinquish the title, and they dropped it to John Moxley, which was okay. It's a pretty cool thing. Shout out to John Moxley, Dean Ambrose, former WWE superstar. But I think they went with this kind of stable kind of guy, I guess. But this is the one thing about AEW. I think that they should have never went with Joe Moxley. I respect Joe Moxley. I think what he does in the ring is incredible. I thought what he was used for in WWE was stupid. I would have left their ass too. Um, you know, but I think because I think they never saw his potential, so it made sense to go to AEW. But I personally would have gave the title to Adam Cole. That's just me. I think Adam Cole has the charisma, and plus, he deserves a big, huge title run somewhere. And I think him being in AEW, he would have did amazing things with that title. So, um, yeah, I didn't understand dropping the Joe Moxley, which is pretty cool, but it is what it is. No, mm. uh, another AEW story, like I said earlier, MJF. Man, a couple weeks ago, MJF pipe bombed the shit. Speaking of CM Punk, MJF pipe bomb um was incredible. If we had to do a promo like respect class, like that's top notch. Now, and that's when you can actually say what you feel, and I think that um now here's the thing. Some people say it's a work, he's it's a work, it's working into what, it's gonna eventually become, a storyline, and this is just a storyline, and it's gonna be something. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel that at all. I truly believe that that's not a storyline, and that is really how he feels. And yeah, maybe they could use that to their advantage, but I think AEW is so young as a company, they won't capitalize really on it. And I think that's the problem with AEW, and also where you kind of lose uh, a little bit of that steam of where AEW could have been. Um, excuse me. MJF's pipe bomb was incredible, man. To watch him um, pretty much work the crowd. And yeah, it could have been a work, and maybe he's been doing it behind the scenes for a minute, but to watch him get, you know, from people saying booing him to 5 seconds after he started talking, go from booing him to cheering him and being like, yo, this shit's incredible. That's how you work a crowd. See, that's how you do shit. And for him running down pretty much the owner of the company, calling them out with people in attendance that was trying to, invest money into the company, and just for him to just go in like that, some people say that's suicide. If that was WWE, yeah, that's suicide. But that's AEW, and we don't know really what's the line in AEW because AEW is young, it's new. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about a company like AEW. You don't know what the line is yet. And so for him to go out there and do what he did, um, was incredible. Um, running the owner of AEW down, pretty much just saying, yo, if I was a WWE guy, would you respect me and pay me more? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a WWE guy, so you take me for granted, which is very interesting. And for him to also say, bring up what everybody's been talking about on the internet. I follow WWE stuff, wrestling stuff, so on my Instagram or even Twitter and stuff. So to see, him being on the contract till 2024, they're not gonna sit him for 2 years. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to figure that out. And I think that that's the thing. Do you bring him back? Do you not? Do you let him walk? Do you not? Is it a work? Is it not? Like it's too risky. in a sense for AEW, but not for MGF. And MGF, MJF has a chance to really capitalize. Now, speaking of that, Chris Jericho, an AEW guy who worked at WWE, says that if he goes to WWE, he's going to be watered down. He thinks he's as good as he is until you go to WWE and you realize they don't really have anything for you. Which, if the company was still ran by Vince, I probably would say the same thing. Um, but which brings me into what WWE is going through. But if the company was still ran by Vince, I would agree. I think that if an MJF went to WWE, his ass would be just first month or two. They would give him all the promo, give him all of the space, give him all the opportunities, and then after that, they're gonna just throw him to the middle of the card, early card, NXT. Like he's not gonna be used. If this was still Vince's WWE, but now that Vince might be kind of out of WWE and might be really stepping down as the guy, that's even better for a guy like MJF because he doesn't have any problems with Triple H. I think he respects Triple H. He kind of reminds me of kind of like a little bit of a Triple H, that just talks shit and is gonna win by any means necessary. So I think it fits if Stephanie and Triple H are really running WWE and he does leave AEW because if he leaves AEW and goes to WWE, that will kill AEW very fast. You know why I say that is because now you got Cody Rhodes, now you got MJF. And yeah, Sasha Banks might be going maybe to AEW, but for the men's situation in WWE, you're not losing anything. You're gaining something. So it's a very um interesting time for wrestling. Speaking of that, um, you know, the thing about AEW that everybody got excited for when it first really started was the forbidden door. The forbidden door is what everybody calls like you don't mention the other companies out there names, you don't even talk about them. They're hearsay, you don't even know they exist. AEW came in and pretty much blended our branch out to Impact, TNA, Impact, Ring of Honor now is under AEW. They were also now they're doing a Forbidden Door pay-per-view with New Japan Wrestling. But here's the thing, TNA did the same shit. I remember watching TNA back in the day when they had the Dudleys and all them, and they used to bring in New Japan Wrestling and Ring of Honor here and there and stuff like that. And they used to do that. And that only lasted for so long until we kind of got tired of it as wrestling fans. AEW is cool and it's a good start, but the thing about AEW, like every fucking company that goes up against WWE, eventually you will lose your spark. There's things about your company that just doesn't click like WWE. I hate WWE sometimes because it is too much entertainment and that's all you give a fuck about. But if WWE could find that balance again between the entertainment and the true wrestling fans that really want to just see matches and tired of all these gimmicky ass promos and dumb ass things. Like I said again, if Stephanie and Triple H are really about to run WWE, they are about to turn that shit into what NXT used to be. And if that's the case, I'm watching WWE. I'm watching WWE hands down. I don't even watch AEW to begin with, but it will get even worse if that happens. And now it seems like WWE is starting to kind of letting that olive branch out to certain companies. Speaking of a certain company, TNA, Impact, the fact that you know at the Royal Rumble you see Mickey James, TNA Knockout Champion, in the Royal Rumble. They announced her as the TNA Impact Champion. It just goes to show you. And now you go to TNA's biggest pay per view, Slammiversary, which is like their WrestleMania, and you see AJ Styles, who's a legend in TNA Impact. but he's WWE. He's under WWE contract. But you see AJ Styles at Slammiversary doing stuff for TNA. If WWE starts to branch out and actually do give certain companies the love and respect back, that right there kills AEW because now you're not the one that's now seeing saying like we're the friendly company. You come and do this with us. Now it's kind of like oh shit. If WWE starting to merge things, because here's the thing, WWE is running out of certain situations. So if they can merge a lot of the maybe female talent with a lot of these other companies like TNA Impact, they get them into the company. That's a different conversation. Let's just be real. So now let's get into WWE, I guess if you want to say it like that. So Vince McMahon, they say he's stepping down. He said he's stepping down. They put out this huge thing. He's stepping down from being CEO of the company. But yet he's been on two WWE appearances, live TVs. Even though SmackDown is taped, he was there opening up SmackDown. He was there opening up Raw. And for somebody that's supposed to be leaving the company, I don't know, and he hasn't really addressed one why he's leaving, which is the main reason why I would think he would be leaving a company. But two, um, it's kind of making it even worse that you haven't really said anything. You're there in person, but yet you're kind of like trying to make the crowd feel like you're gonna always be there, and it's kind of like stupid. And I get it, you don't want to divulge into your own personal business, but it is out there that you try to pay off uh, your side chick like millions of dollars to keep her mouth shut. So that was a former WWE superstar. So it's kind of like, ugh, it's not good. It's not good. And for you, like I said, for you to try to not be um for this news to leak, for this news to come out, and it came from WWE saying Vince is stepping down. It's kind of a stupid ass thing for you to be in front of the camera, but yet not address why you're leaving your own company. It's kind of dumb, and I don't understand that shit. Um, Here's the thing: if Triple H is back, if Stephanie's back to being, because she just stepped down, she just left, and now she's thrown back into the company. It's kind of it's this is like the one of the most kind of like what the fuck moments in history, like, and it now kind of does bring in the conversation of does this now change a lot of people's stances on WWE, because I don't think they really had problems with Stephanie and Triple H running the company. I think their main concern was Vince, because if Vince is still telling us what to do, he don't know what the fuck the new era is. He doesn't know how to really connect with a lot of these fans nowadays. And that's the main thing. So does that now open up the door for a lot of talent if Stephanie and Triple H are running the company? Does that now open up the door for maybe let's say Bray Wyatt coming back to the company? Maybe Sasha Banks doesn't really leave and she just says, you know what? I'd rather have Stephanie and Triple H run a company because I know Triple H and I know Stephanie would Triple H and Stephanie, and maybe that was the reason why Stephanie stepped down, because she probably told her dad she didn't want to deal with this. You're trying to berate these women and make it seem like that's their fault for being a professional, but yet you're not listening to them. Maybe that maybe prompts Sasha and Naomi to come back to the company. Let's see. Um, because it's different when you have a physical, like you have like a person like Triple H who's been in the ring, who's been doing this for 30 some years, now running a company. Like I said, NXT before Vince got his hands on it, before Triple H had his heart attack and everything, you know, before like Triple H went out, you couldn't tell me NXT wasn't the best goddamn product for WWE. Like he ran the fuck out of NXT. NXT was incredible. You never lost talent, like really good talent. You never lost it. Or he always brought in really good talent. And I don't really watch NXT 2.0. That's a dumbass name, and I think it's a stupid ass concept. Like it changed or some shit. But I like the gringy like get it out the mud. It reminded me of ECW when I was a kid, like bingo hall type of vibe. Like you gotta really fight to get the fuck out of here and be something. So that's what NXT was with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke. Like that's what NXT felt like. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. When I first started watching NXT, that's what it felt like. It felt like that gringy ECW, like early mid '90s, late night, like just straight. You gotta beat the living shit out your opponent, but it's respect at the end of the day. And now NXT is like flashing lights and cameras. It's like, okay, I guess, fuck it. I guess I'll watch it. But I don't even watch it no more. I used to watch it every Wednesday. I don't even watch that shit no more because it's kind of like you've made it a WWE product, and it's the worst. But I think the thing about like Raw and SmackDown, um, if it's about to be run by Stephanie and Triple H, good God, thank the Lord. Lord, thank the Lord. Because WWE was not gonna survive with Vince running it like he was running. Um, now you got injuries again, going on. Cody Rhodes being out now. You just got Cody Rhodes now. He's out for at least 8 to 10, at least 8 to 10, 6 to 8 maybe. Um, you know, the Sasha Banks and Naomi drama just fucked up a lot of shit for WWE. Um, which is all Vince's fault. Um, you got uh Cody Rhodes being Roman Reigns not really competing when you know damn well you don't have anybody. You didn't really build anybody to fight Roman Reigns. On top of that, now you really are fucked because you got to bring back Brock Lesnar. Like, yeah, people are cool seeing Brock Lesnar. I'm cool and I'm happy to see Brock Lesnar too. But it's like Brock Lesnar. I'm so tired of Roman and Brock Lesnar. It's like it's not fucking Rock and Stone Cold. It's never gonna be Rock and Stone Cold. Stop trying to make it seem like it's this new era Rock and Stone Cold. No, it's a watered down, terrible fucking. We seen this shit 20 times. Undertaker came. Like I'm tired of seeing this shit. It's over and over again. I'm tired of seeing it. It's like when the last time Kane and Undertaker had their last rivalries, like last matches. Like Kane finally started to beat the Undertaker, but it's like he's beating the broken down old motherfucker like nobody like. Okay, cool, whatever. Like I don't care that Roman's gonna beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I could care less. Now if they cash in Money in the Bank right then and there, then okay, it's a different conversation. But until then, that's a stupid fucking match again. Like I saw it at WrestleMania. I don't want to see it again. Like they're gonna fight at SummerSlam. If Roman wins, what the fuck was the point of them fighting at fucking SummerSlam? If Brock wins, what the fuck is the point? Because Brock's gonna have the same schedule Roman has. It's the stupidest shit. You need a real champion in that company, and that's the problem with WWE right now. You keep trying to put the fucking title on what you believe the fans want, and what the fans actually want is a real champion. They want somebody that's gonna be there every fucking week. You're going to see them every fucking week. They're gonna fight every fucking week, even if it's not for the title, just to be there in the fucking building and fight and do something is pretty awesome. And here's the thing: you're trying to build this WrestleMania 39 matchup between Rock and Roman. Great, and this was why I think you do drop the title down to Brock Lesnar because Roman's got to have some reason to be pissed off. Like you got to give Roman something. And I think for what they continue to try to build between Roman and Rock eventually, you got to have a real reason for it. And I don't think Roman needs the titles to go into WrestleMania 39 because I damn sure don't want to see The Rock with the titles. So you got to drop the titles eventually, which is why I feel like at SummerSlam, whoever wins Money in the Bank, this the next not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, July 2nd, whoever wins Money in the Bank should automatically win the universal title, the WWE Universal Championship away from Roman or Brock. I could care less who wins that match, but whoever wins that match need to lose that fucking title immediately to either Seth or whoever the fuck is in that Money in the Bank match. I don't know who. But whoever wins that Money in the Bank needs to beat them immediately that night at SummerSlam because I do not want to see Brock or Roman as champion. I've seen it enough. I know how this shit looks. Nobody fights them. They're not gonna be there until the fucking main pay per view. So if it's SummerSlam in July, you're not gonna see them until what? January? That's crazy. You're not gonna see them until damn near to my 29th birthday. That's fucking ridiculous. Like you're not gonna see them really have a match until then. Maybe Crown Jewel, which is like October. The fuck? Like, come on, man. No, 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 no. Take the titles off both of them. Put that on somebody else. Now, if you want to keep Roman in the title picture, great. Should he win the title back? Fuck no. You should give it to. I would personally give it to Seth Rollins, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Maybe Riddle. I think Riddle or Seth should definitely have the title. The titles, I think. But even though Riddle now ain't even in Money in the Bank, which makes it even stupider, because Randy Orton's not coming back now, which is another injury. But I think, and now Cody Rhodes is gone, so it's just like drop it a Set. Set's a workhorse. Set can actually get people over. Um, I'll bring back somebody, and it's just like bring back Bray Wyatt, bring back some. You got to do something because as Roman as champion or Brock as champion, I've seen this story enough as a wrestling fan to know we ain't getting no real title matches until January. It's dumb. I've seen this enough. Put it on real champions. Drew McIntyre made a hell of a champion. Put it back on him. Somebody, Seth, somebody. It cannot be Roman and it cannot be Brock. It can't. I refuse to think WWE is this damn naive to put them two back in the title match at SummerSlam, and then Brock wins, but you have no payoff of the Money in the Bank. Because if you fucking put them against either Roman or Brock 1-on-1, they're gonna get smashed. We know this already. So why not have them beat the shit out of each other? Brock wins. He drops the titles. Whoever wins Money in the Bank. That makes way more sense because it doesn't make sense to have Brock win the match or Roman win the match and then the damn pay per view goes off. It's got to be more to that story. It's got to be. It cannot because Big E won Money in the Bank last year. It beat Bobby Lashley, so it makes no sense to give a Money in the Bank to a guy and then tell him, "All right, you're gonna go 1-on-1 with Brock or Roman in a real 1-on-1 match." It makes no sense. Let them beat the shit out of each other. Let the Money in the Bank person cash it in. Now, for the women's side, I cannot tell you what the fuck that is. Rhea Ripley just got hurt. I think Bianca's gonna be fighting Carmella. Bianca's gonna win it easily. It's just like I guess I don't even know who the fuck. Oh, I think Ronda Rousey's fighting Natalia, which is like I've seen that before too. It's kind of like I don't want to see that again. It's stupid. WWE is just in the same boat as AEW. They just know how to dress it up better. That's it. They just know how to dress it up better. But wrestling right now is in a very interesting state. It's in a let's talk about it, but let's also hold the cards and act like nothing's wrong. AEW's fucked. AEW's got to figure out how to get themselves out of the fucking problem they put themselves into, which is you have put too many WWE guys at the top of your card. You're starting to feel like WCW back in the day, where every WWE person that didn't want to be a WWE anymore, their contract just came up, you just paid them. You paid them too much money to the point where you got fucking stuck with that motherfucker. And it's kind of like that's what I'm starting to feel like AEW is starting to become. Every WWE guy that feels a disturbance or doesn't want to be at WWE anymore. The contract, it just, you know what I'm saying? Like I just said, like I think Sasha Banks is gonna be in AEW in a couple weeks. Or maybe she doesn't leave WWE now that she knows that the company is being turned over to Triple H and Stephanie. Who knows? Does she leave? Does she leave? Does she get released? Or does because here's the thing. We've heard that she's been released from WWE, but yet I haven't heard shit from her or anybody else. So we don't really fucking know if she's actually been released from WWE. We just hearing it. And knowing what I know, you gotta wait and see. Because if she doesn't pop up in AEW, it's not real. If she doesn't pop up in Ring of Honor, it's not real. So I believe, knowing now that Vince is going to be stepping down and he's done with WWE, and Triple H and Stephanie are going to be taking over the company, they got a way better relationship with Sasha Banks and Naomi. I think that Sasha Banks might not really be leaving WWE. Which brings into the conversation: does Bray Wyatt come back to WWE? And if that's the case, 2023 for WWE looks way better than AEW in 2023. And I think that's the craziest thing because all WWE's got to do right now is get through the summer. If they can get through the summer and get to out of close to the end of the year when Cody Rhodes could be coming back and I mean Bailey should be coming back soon and all these other people should be coming back. If they could come back and be healthy when they come back, WWE will break AEW spirit because then and also like I said, keep in mind, TNA is also starting to kind of like merge with WWE. They just brought Jeff Jarrett in as a writing consultant for WWE. Who is Jeff Jarrett? Oh, just the founder of TNA with his dad. Like, they know some shit. Okay? So now that you have a Jeff Jarrett in the fold, and I don't know if he still got ties, I'm assuming he probably still got ties to TNA. If he still got ties to TNA, if they sold it or not, that's a big ass hit to AEW because now TNA becomes a WWE conglomerate, kind of in a sense, and now they could fluctuate with their people and bring them in and do shit with them. So that's a scary thing to think about. Wrestling right now, like I said, I'm gonna still watch it because I grew up on wrestling, but it is in a very tricky fucking time. And I don't know what the fuck is good about it and what's the fuck is bad about it, but it's kind of starting to get to the point where if WWE could get out of the 2022 injury bug like they always run themselves into, they ran themselves into the injury bug in like 2016. They ran into it like in 2012, like shit like that. They always run into it. If they could get out of it, and maybe somehow, some way, Triple H does become Triple H and Stephanie do run WWE. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, how bad will AEW look? Because they could not capitalize on the most interesting time they could capitalize. So we shall see how wrestling goes for the next couple of months, going into 2023, because I feel very afraid for AEW safety going forward. Because if TNA merges with WWE and brings in TNA talent to NXT, but they stay in TNA, kind of, it's over. And plus, if Triple H and Stephanie do take over the company and run it like they ran in it, like Triple H ran NXT, the first NXT, good luck, because the wrestling world will be back on a different conversation. And I have no doubts about that. This is episode, excuse me, 193. So yeah, I got one more to do this week, I think. Um, yeah, and I'll be dropping this soon. I don't know when, but I'll be dropping it soon. So it's coming out this week. So stay tuned for this, and talk to you guys soon. Peace.